Welcome back to the Wellness Script podcast, your source of truth for all things health and wellness. My name is Lauren O'Reilly. I'm a qualified pharmacist and your host for today. We tend to file skincare under beauty, but our skin is our largest organ. And for anyone living with sensitive, reactive, or eczema-prone skin, looking after it is very much a wellness issue and one that we're diving into today. My guests are Joanna and Tom Gardiner, a mother and son and the third and fourth generations of an Irish family that has been making gentle skincare since 1934, when Joanna's grandfather opened Ireland's first family apothecary, the Gardiner family apothecary, which you'll know as Elive Skincare and Ovell. As a pharmacist, that lineage means a lot to me because it goes right back to what pharmacists are at their core, with compounding and mixing remedies by hand for the person in front of you. Today, we'll get into what sensitive skin really is, why so many of us seem to be reacting to our products, to our environment, and how to build a routine that really works. And with summer here, how to choose an SPF you can actually trust. Here's my conversation with Joanna and Tom. Joanna and Tom, you are very welcome to the Wellness Script podcast.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
I this is my first mother and son duo on the podcast, and I believe your first podcast as well.
Yeah, it is. It's our first one.
It's our first podcast.
Yeah,
and we're delighted.
I'm delighted to have you. And we were talking beforehand. There's so much that we are going to get into in terms of business, which has such a long-standing family history, and which is embedded in Irish culture, I suppose, and we'll talk about all of that. But you know, something that I get so often in the pharmacy is people saying to me, "Oh, you don't compound anymore. You know, do you not make up any creams or anything anymore?" And that's kind of where the beginning of you know, the Gardiner family apothecary began. Joanna, you might kind of start us off there.
Well, my grandfather, Joseph Gardiner, was in the 1930s, early 1930s, a commercial traveller, which was kind of a name for a salesperson. And he had his wife and 6 kids, and he travelled the country, and he was selling products into chemist shops, as they would have been known then. And the pharmacist would be, in his words, complaining about, I have to make up this cream. I'll do that for you. It was a different world. So he started taking the prescriptions from doctors, dermatologists at the time, making the products and delivering them back. So he did start the first family skincare apothecary, making iconic products that you probably will know, called Silcox Base, Aqueous Cream, emulsifying ointment, calamine cream for chicken pox, all these kind of topical, straightforward products that really work and are still going very strong today. So that was the origins back in the 30s. And he brought that manufacturer to Dundalk. And we are still there, where we manufacture everything, and we have an 80-strong workforce. So literally everything we do is manufactured in Dundalk.
Wow. Okay. That's incredible. And even the products that you list there, like I recommend those every day still, which stands to, I suppose, the testimony of that what they use worked and still works, and that kind of keeping things simple in a lot of inflammatory and sensitive skin conditions can be kind of the best approach. But I suppose if we talk about, if we talk about sensitive and reactive skin, like, you must have seen through the years how it can affect people's confidence. Like, there's a huge emotional piece, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say when it comes to skin conditions. Is that right, that you guys address?
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, since we moved more into the direct to consumer channel, we have a lot more kind of touch points with the customer. Yes. So we're getting so much feedback, like for our email, social media. So, it's great to kind of hear the effect that our product is having on people's, mental health, how it's improved their families, their own skin's health. So yeah, it has a massive effect on them.
Yeah, like, because I see it so often in the pharmacy that, somebody, whether they have eczema or psoriasis or rosacea, that it's affecting kind of everything that they're doing and how they live their life, how they dress, what they wear. And I think like the products that we use and the education around that, or what we don't use, can have such a huge impact. And I guess like when it comes to the products, how do you decide what goes into them or what doesn't, rather? I think.
Okay, well, just
Yeah.
to go back slightly, I think in general, people underestimate the effect of a skin condition.
Yes.
Psoriasis probably is the most chronic, most persistent skin condition. Chronic means they can't be cured. However, they can be greatly managed.
Yes.
And they definitely affect how you feel. If you're working in community pharmacy, you're going to see someone coming in, maybe starting treatment right through to the end, and they will be a different person.
Yes.
Think about if you are bitten on your holidays by a mosquito, the itchiness, how it annoys you. Imagine living with that every day, but also if it happens to be in your legs, your hand, arms, your face, you're going to it's really going to affect your confidence, going to affect your clothes choice. Going on holidays, all of these things, intimacy, it is a real thing, and it's called psychodermatology in general. So to come back to the ingredients, so as we know, eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, rosacea, the fastest growing skin condition of the face, are all chronic. They can't be 100% cured. Sometimes mild to moderate cases can be, but what you can do is reduce the flare-up of those conditions and improve the condition of the skin barrier. Psoriasis is a particularly difficult condition that requires very specific treatments, and oftentimes very chronic cases of eczema require steroids. And you will know as a pharmacist that that's a very important part of treatment, and your GP can help you with that. However, day-to-day is where we want to be.
Yes.
And we want to make the day-to-day easier for people. And I believe we have, and I think we can continue to do that, particularly with the face part of skincare. And I do firmly believe that skincare is for people with sensitive skin. Beauty is for people with sensitive skin. So you don't have to completely avoid products. Back in 2005, probably the most significant piece of medical research completed was by a Dr. Michael Cork in Sheffield, a pediatric dermatologist. And I actually went over there and I walked around the hospital with him. He did some serious research around sulfates, which are basically soaps. So soap is to eczema like sugar is to diabetes. And the first thing you need to do is stop using soap. That's I always say that to everyone.
Yes.
And soap equals sulfate. So if you look at a washing up liquid bottle, on the back of it, you will see sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl ether sulfate. So sulfate free, usually replaced with lauryl glucosides, which are sugar-based surfactants.
Okay.
And they're very gentle. But it makes a huge effect on the skin not having soap near it.
So when you describe the other surfactant, that means that with your products, then it still lathers, which is the kind of nice sensation that we want when we're washing ourselves. But it means that you're not getting the stripping.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, absolutely. It's still lathers. It is a low lather. And we used to actually say that a lot when we launched the range. And it was out of that research. And I was incredibly lucky. So my background is business. My father was a pharmacist, and my brother today is a pharmacist and a chemist and a formulator. So like I really have a dream team.
Yes.
And I could go back and say, but I was very good at picking out, this is where we need to be. And we were ahead of other brands in our formulation capability. And that's why I think Elave Skincare works. We also have that heritage in the Silcox Basin and the aqueous cream and the calamines. And that trust is there in the products. And as you know, if you're recommending in a pharmacist, the last thing you want is for the product not to work. Because the patient will be back.
Yes.
That didn't work at all.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. You build a relationship with people and you want to recommend the best thing, and you certainly don't want to aggravate it further. So like you have to have confidence that what you're recommending is going to do that. So I know that you put as much effort into what you include versus what you leave out. And Tom, I know that that's something you're passionate about as well.
Yeah. It's definitely, you were speaking earlier, but I think the best consumer research I see is like, I go to the gym a lot, so I see like what men are using, like in terms of their shower products. And yeah, people are just using 3-in-1 scented, the cheapest stuff. Some of it looks like you'd clean a pot with it. And I think this is one of the main things, is just like, from a men's point of view, they maybe are just picking up whatever is cheapest and using it, but really simplifying the routine and taking things away and only using things that your skin really needs is so important. So cleansing and moisturizing with an SPF, just the basics, getting those right. It's so great for your skin.
This episode is sponsored by Elav Skincare. Elav is an Irish skincare brand whose sensitive skincare story started in 1934, so there's over 90 years of skincare expertise behind everything they do. It was founded in Ireland by the Gardiner family apothecary, and 4 generations of the Gardiner family have helped people with anything from minor irritation to sensitive and reactive skin types, which are conditions I come across all the time as a pharmacist, and something that I know so many of you are navigating too. Today, their award-winning skincare innovations are at the forefront of dermatology, free from sulfates, alcohol, perfume, and artificial colours, ensuring that they leave in what's suitable for all skin types, which is why for years I've been happy to recommend their products to both my patients and my community alike. With Elav products, you give your skin what it needs and not what it doesn't. You can explore the full range at elavskincare.com and in retailers nationwide. And as a listener of the Wellness Script podcast, you can use the code WELLNESS for 20% off online. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be much more complicated.
Yeah,
than that,
exactly.
does it? Yeah. I see a lot of that as well. And while it can be, a quick fix to kind of get something that washes face, hair, body,
exactly.
everything.
Yeah, people just want something easy and convenient.
Yeah, but then I see the flip side of that, where that they need treatment for whether it's scalp, dry skin on the scalp issues because it's been kind of stripped of its barrier. And then on the body as well. And then if people work with, sometimes people work in particular jobs where their skin barrier is being compromised, whether it's in a kitchen or in a barber or hairdresser, or and then on top of that, using where the skin barrier is compromised, then using a product that's further irritating it, and then going to the gym and sweating, and then we get acne and things like that. So,
and your hands as well is a big one. People, hand dermatitis, and that's such a personal thing, especially if you're shaking hands with someone. You're it's a big thing to have cracked. And so obviously our hand wash range is also the same principle as Joanna spoke of. It's like no sulfates, no SLS. It's
Yes.
The other big one with the hands, because I spent a lot of time in waiting rooms of a lot of dermatology clinics around the whole country. But there's a lot of focus on the hands, and Tom is right, creams, a specialist hand wash. But where people forget is they then put the irritated hands in their head with the big suds and colour and perfume and cancel out all that good work. And I personally have spent, I talk to people every day with skin conditions. In fact, it could be a full-time job, only it wouldn't pay me. So, I have literally cured people, like a farmer, neighbour of mine that had very cracked hands. So I said, shampoo, cotton gloves, a really great tool if you have very dry hands. Lather on good ice and cake layer of cream.
Yes.
People tend to be a bit... Lots of it.
Yeah. Yes. You can't really overdo it. You can't those. No.
Twice a day. But the cotton gloves at night watching television, or if you can, stick it sleeping with the cotton gloves on. And it just creates this really nice environment for the skin barrier to heal. So I think that's really important. And the other area, like people say to me, well, whatever you're using, make sure your shampoo suds aren't going down your whole forehead into, and don't put your face right up in the shower.
Okay.
It's not necessary to blast really hot water at high speed onto your skin and kind of strip the natural oils in your skin out. So minding that barrier, when you think about it, it makes so much sense to use a specialist shampoo, but it's not as intuitive as you might think.
No, and it's something that I often talk about with people coming in, say for a steroid cream. I'm saying I do always ask, if you're using scented shampoos, at least for this period while you have this flare up, at the very least, consider switching to something unscented with no sulfates, and just keep it really, really simple. Because like that, you can cause a flare up in and of itself. And like I see so many sensitive skin conditions, and sometimes they're acute, like short term, and sometimes they are more chronic. But like, do you think that it is things like behaviors that we're engaging in that that is bringing them about, or are we becoming more sensitive? Is it, like, is it our environment?
I think I'll just say I think we are living in a chemical world.
Yeah.
Like they estimate 300 chemicals. If you have a shower with perfume colored soap, antiperspirant, perfume, maybe makeup, fake tan, hairspray. Think about it. By the time you actually get into your car, there's a lot going on.
Yes.
So that's number one. And I'm very interested in that area.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating not washing in any way, but but washing is naturally takes oils out of the skin.
Yeah.
We now have power showers, not little spray. Like when I grew up, the shower was in the bath and it was,
it trickled along.
It trickled. Now it's like shoo.
Yes.
And it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's fab to have a nice hot shower.
Yeah.
But now we've gym and wellness, and the health and wellness trend is amazing. And it's fantastic to see the next generation really focused on health in every way.
Yeah.
But that does mean a second shower usually every day. Again, another factor. So it makes taking out unnecessary ingredients even more important.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean that is definitely a lifestyle thing that is triggering this rise in eczema. But the other interesting area is the facial area where, children as young as 10, 11, I think that's the tweenie zone.
Yes.
I heard recently someone who, for their confirmation, all they wanted was this whole list of skincare.
Wow. Oh my God.
I tried to think back what I wanted.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't skincare.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was happy with the new outfit,
Yes.
but now they want, so this was, and the parent was asking, and I said, whatever you do, no retinols.
Yes.
For 10, 11, 12-year-olds or into their teens, or in my view, most 20-year-olds don't need retinols unless they've sun damage to their skin.
Okay.
Brilliant ingredient, retin A, and brilliant anti-aging ingredient, but not for children or young adults.
No, who don't
Yeah.
need anti-aging. Yeah, definitely.
But it would be not just not good. It really does penetrate the layers of the skin, and it's not necessary for a young, and could potentially damage the skin. I'm not a doctor, but I think a dermatologist would probably agree with that. Not a good idea.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And I know, Tom, like, you're very up to speed with the kind of trends online and what you're seeing there. Like, is that, I suppose you're probably seeing the younger generations getting more interested. Like, are we damaging our skin barrier I suppose we don't know until we try something that it's going to damage the skin, right?
Yeah, I think definitely. And I think it's kind of across the board online. There's an equal amount of good information as bad information, you know, and I think, young people should be more interested in skincare rather than the actual actives that are in them. Looking after their skin is more important. And yeah, you can see it online. You can see, like, there's tons of articles out there of, like, kids my 10-year-old's using retinol or has damaged their skin barrier. Like, I've used retinol a couple times. It's irritated my skin straight away, so I can't use it.
Yes.
Gotta have sensitive skin. So you can imagine it's no need for a child with, like, beautiful skin to be using these actives,
Yeah.
But I guess they want to be a part, especially like young girls more so than boys. Like, want to be makeup, I think, is a different thing, and then skincare as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I see a lot of that.
I think actives, though, are for people with sensitive skin. They just need to be carefully selected.
Okay.
And also put in a base that's gentle.
Okay.
So, for example, glycolic acid is an amazing exfoliator. It's the smallest molecule. It's one of the alpha hydroxy acids, and it really works, and it tightens up the skin. We have a night treatment with 8% glycolic acid in it and vitamin E, and honestly, it tightens up the skin. So the point is that if you combined glycolic acid with perfume and colors and dyes and you have sensitive skin, or any skin type really, but sensitive skin for sure will have a reaction. And vitamins, I think, are amazing. Glycerin is an amazing humectant ingredient for hydration of the skin. And I think to speak to Tom's point, simplification of routines is important if you've sensitive skin. Less is actually more.
Yeah.
And then there's this acne cosmetica, which is a thing that a term people are using. And that's like where people have literally disturbed the barrier so much by overuse of actives that they're getting this sort of an acne rosacea thing going on, like a bumpy thing. So, yeah, I mean, overuse of stuff is part of the problem in that sense. Like, but there are actives, sun protection, vitamins, vitamin C, B, and E, amazing ingredients. Vitamin C on its own is a great ingredient.
Yes.
Like shea butters, glycerins. There's a lot of really good ingredients that plump up the skin barrier. And I really do feel rosacea is mild to moderate rosacea or reactive rosacea is rooted in overuse of cosmetic products.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose the what's happening there is the skin barriers being compromised, and like the role of our skin is kind of to protect us from the world around us as an organ, and keep water in and protect us from anything that's going to irritate us. So when we compromise that barrier, then we're reacting in a kind of inflammatory way, like our body's recruiting all of the inflammatory markers to the skin. So then we kind of want to get on top of that then.
And that's why, when and you're absolutely right. Yeah. So the barrier is disturbed, it's compromised. And then you go and put your head, this is a great one for straight up into hot, quite powerful water in a shower. Yeah. So that water, if the barrier is compromised or even broken slightly, is getting into the upper layer of the skin and making everything worse. And that's why when you come out of a hot shower, your skin can be red for a while.
And tight.
Yeah, and tight.
Yeah.
Because it's just, So I would, as much as it's pleasant, I would not do that.
And so you
keep your head out of the shower.
Yeah. And wash your face separately to your shower.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do all your skincare for your face outside the shower. And like, would you guys recommend like kind of moisturizing straight away after the shower then as well? Like while your skin's still damp, or?
For the body, definitely. And not to be for the face. If you're putting, we'll say intense moisture surge as one of our facial might would be great straight after.
Yes.
I would use that in the morning, then followed by an SPF 50 that we have for our face, which has got beta carotene, which is a vitamin A derivative. Takes the ghost-like effect of higher SPFs away. And then I'd have my cup of tea.
Yes, very important.
And then I might put on some makeup, and usually it's something light enough, a tinted moisturizer, but, in the morning, and then off I go to work.
With the cup of tea, you letting it sit in
before
you want the makeup on kind of.
Yeah, because otherwise you get this pilling effect, which is a big thing. And so sometimes you just need to take a bit of time there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that both for the skincare to have its effect as well as the appearance of your makeup?
You don't want it all mixed in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a possibility that if we're doing our skincare and we have that routine, makeup could be irritating as well then on top, or do we need to kind of look into what we're putting?
I think makeup is a factor in irritation.
Yeah.
Although I think a lot of people will put up with it.
Yeah, I know, myself included. I think unless there's a flare up, I tell people to stay away kind of then.
But I do think it's all about the barrier underneath. Yeah. So that's another reason to kind of minimize chemicals.
Yes.
It's just not possible to avoid chemicals.
Yeah.
However, you can minimize them, and unnecessary ones like perfume, color, dyes. Why not? And then if you have to, you're obviously using some level of a dye in a makeup.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel good, and your skin underneath is good and healthy. Go for it.
Yeah.
It's about minimization rather than completely. It's like healthy food.
Yeah.
If you're going to have an ice cream, enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love ice cream.
Yeah. And we have a particularly nice day today as well. So it's on the mind.
But I'm a pretty healthy eater in general.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's about what we do most.
And if you're going out for a big night out, you might be putting heavier makeup on, and you might be, going over and there'll be hairspray, and there'll be enjoy every minute of it.
Yes.
But try and minimize. It's like, why would you, it's like empty calories that you eat.
Yeah.
Why would you put chemicals on your on your face through shampoo, for example,
Yes.
unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Minimize, and then your skin barrier will be healthier. And then you can put, you know, you can go for it on Saturday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like even from the like, I loved what you said earlier about the evolution of the brand. You told me about how like Silcock Space even came about. I'd love to for you to tell that, because it's so ingrained in our culture, and so many of your products are like, it's some like Silcock Space, for example, something I recommend every day. So like, I know that you kind of experienced the
Great story.
yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, well, Silcock Space is a soap substitute and a moisturizer. So you can use it to wash, you can put it in the shower, you can use it in the bath. It's an all-purpose moisturizer that really protects the skin barrier. It's similar also to aqueous cream. Aqueous cream is a British pharmacopoeia, BP formula, where Silcock Space is uniquely Irish, and particularly Dublin, because Dr. Silcox, as he was known, and he was a consultant dermatologist in the 1930s, travelled from Liverpool on a ferry once a month, and he did a clinic in Temple Street, which was a children's hospital, the Mater in Dublin, and his base was another word for moisturizer, but you'd know as a pharmacist, you're diluting a steroid into it. Although, I believe he would have been seeing quite chronic patients, because people didn't really go to a hospital with a skin condition unless it was quite chronic. And it slowly over the year, and it was one of the first products my grandfather started making. And I often wonder, like, I should really look up his people in Liverpool, and because what a legacy he has, like Dr. Silcock Space, and that was abbreviated to Silcock Space. Same thing in Cork with Dr. Haldon's Space, and yeah, it's a unique Irish story. And I think what we have to remember, in the early days of a new state in the 30s, or early years of a new state, we didn't have consultant dermatologists. Now, obviously, that's all changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it is an interesting legacy. Yeah.
Yeah, because it still lives on today. It's still one of the pillars of what we recommend and what even doctors prescribe today, which is, it's just a testament to like that when something works, I think kind of like sticking with it and not adding too much into it is kind of key.
I think it reminds you of, as well, I think there's something really nice about this notion that I personally would be very proud of. There may well not be a house in Ireland without one or two of our products in it, in the back of the medicine cabinet, or it's an incredible legacy that I know Tom is proud to be part of as well. To have been making it for 90 years, the same product. It's quite incredible.
It is. Yeah. It is. And you when you mentioned ice cream there, I was thinking about summer. It's thankfully a nice day today. SPF is really important. Tom, you mentioned it in relation to men's skincare as well. Are you seeing that kind of message really driving home more now in terms of the importance? I feel like it's a pillar.
Yeah. It's like, I'm definitely seeing more awareness of it online. I think like most brands now, it's a core message over the summer is the importance of SPF, and it really is like, you should wear SPF. It doesn't matter what the brand is, you need to wear it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the fundamental for like reduces aging. And if you can combine it with a moisturizer, it's, you're removing one of your steps in the morning. So it's great. Like,
yes.
But our SPF, Daily Skin Defense SPF 45 is amazing. That's my favorite product to use, because it's like, as long as I've left the house using that, I know I've done at least one good step right,
Yes, exactly.
Well, we put a lot of research into making that formulation. Daily Skin Defense Alive 45, and we've now subsequently brought out an SPF Daily Skin Defense 50 with the beta carotene in it, and a 10% zinc level, which is very high as a UV reflector. Zinc oxide is a very non-chemical, clean protection from sun environment. And we're really into this whole area, and they're oil free as well. So typically, if you have tendencies to redness on the face, whether you're a man or a woman, you need to stay away from oil products.
Yes.
So they're oil free. They've got vitamins B, C, and E in them, and they are a natural synergistic effect with the zinc oxide to protect the skin barrier. And you really don't notice it. It's invisible zinc oxide. My brother and my father formulated the product, and it really does sink in. And you might need to wait a minute or two and let it settle on the skin, and then you can go ahead with whatever else you're using.
So it
But it's
avoids.
a big part.
Yeah.
Face, neck, hands. Face, neck, hands.
Yes.
Not just the face.
Yes. So true.
Yeah.
End up with old little wrinkly
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
And when you said about the zinc, it's a physical barrier to the sun. You'd often, like, going way back, it's the kind of sun cream that you'd see people stripe it across their nose, like the actual white.
Yeah.
The sports people.
The sports people with the sunscreen, but you've formulated in such a way that doesn't leave that kind of white cast, right?
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't. No, it really doesn't. And that's why the beta carotene has a natural tint in it for the SPF 50 daily skin defense. It was a tricky formulation, but so many people are, like, skin cancer is the biggest cancer in Ireland.
Yes.
So there are people going to dermatologists and doctors. I mean, to SPF 50. So we went up a level for that formulation to make sure that men and women who wanted to really protect. But the other obvious thing is the anti-aging effect of it. The SPF 45 is a whiter cream, but it doesn't ghost. It sinks in. Yeah. But you see it going on, you go, oh my God, that's white. And then that's why we call it invisible zinc, because it then disappears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that they're obviously sun protection factor that doesn't irritate sensitive skin, which is key, because this time of year, obviously, if people are going away or whether it's sunny here, it's really important they protect their skin. But the last thing they want to do is get burnt. But then on the other side of that, I see a lot of people irritated by the SPFs that they're using, or breaking out in acne, and they're like, it's my SPF, so I'm only wearing it if I really need to. And then obviously that's not the message that we want. We want them to use it every day.
We do have kind of bigger size LA SPF 50 plus for babies, pediatric one. Obviously babies shouldn't be sunbathing, but it's for that passerby, in push chairs, in and out of cars in hot days, and on holidays in particular. So they're water resistant, they're encapsulated formulas, so they don't get absorbed into the epidermis. They're good. Sun protection is a tricky formulation. We really had to dig deep to create these safe, non-irritating. You're right. The combination of sun, heat, and sun protection isn't great. You can get that prickly heat, you can get a reaction. So once again, avoiding sun protection with a lot of perfumes and colours, as much as they're lovely to smell. Like I'd be quite partial to Hawaiian Tropic myself. The smell of it, but it's not good for your skin. It's just not. The other thing I would genuinely caution, you have to read the instructions of sun protection.
You do.
I don't know where it's got deep rooted into the Irish psyche that you just apply it once and that's enough. Like, you have to apply it, particularly in direct heat, particularly if you're swimming and toweling, after swimming. You have to apply it every 2 hours. And it's hard work. Trust me, I had to run after children. It's not fun. And but it's the only way to protect them from being burned. And I personally don't think sprays, although they're really easy, and I understand why people like using them, that they don't really protect as much as a cream. And you should apply it 20 minutes. It's that sunblock zone in the morning of getting them right. This is it. So 20 minutes before you go out into the sun. I'm talking now about holiday sun protection. But daily skin defense, the moisturizer that Tom spoke about, is about everyday blue light. If you're staring at a screen all day, you need to be wearing UV protection. And minimizing the chemicals in it is good, but there is no avoidance of chemicals completely with sun protection.
As a pharmacist, the question I get asked most often this time of year is what to do about hay fever. And one of the things I see all the time is people reaching for the same decongestant nasal spray week after week, not realising that it can actually make symptoms worse over time if you keep using it. That's where Otazan stands out. Otazan Nasal Spray Forte and Nasal Wash are natural, drug-free alternatives, so there's no risk of that rebound congestion that you get with regular decongestant sprays. I use the nasal wash daily myself to cleanse my nose of any irritants, and I bring the nasal spray on the go with me. They are part of Otazan's full family wellness range. Otazan is an Italian natural wellness brand that's been around for over 30 years. They are ear, nose and throat specialists that combine traditional herbal knowledge with modern research, and today their products are used and trusted in more than 30 countries around the world, and you'll find them in pharmacies and health stores nationwide. Yeah, but it's like, I suppose it's important to know that you can trust that it is the sun protection. I think I've seen scandals online where there's, I don't know, products advertised that say they have such a protection and they don't. And then there's also the factor that, like we can't avoid chemicals. Like water is a chemical, like everything is a chemical. So sometimes we can kind of get caught up in that, but knowing that the right ones were chosen and that it comes from, that science background and the pharmaceutical grade manufacturing is really, really key, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we also use purified water. We have a water purification plant for all of our products. And that means the reason we do that is there are naturally microorganisms in water from the taps.
Yes.
So we test that daily and we make sure, and that allows us to put less preservative into products. So it keeps the bacterial count out of the water going into the product. I know we don't like to think that there is, but it's true. And so we do apply those pharma grade standards to our products. And we're really, and they're also vegan, and with the exception of 2 products, I think 3 actually, beeswax, manuka honey into a cleanser and a moisturizer. Great products for teenagers, antimicrobial. Manuka honey coming from a bee in New Zealand. And beeswax in our lip SPF, which is a huge area because people are doing all sorts of things to their lips these days and spending a lot of money. So they're more interested in protecting them than ever before, because of usually, I'm not advocating that, but that's the reality.
Yes.
And so an SPF 20 for the lips is what we have, and it's really, really good. It has beeswax in it. But again, they're animal byproducts. But 97% of our products are vegan as well, which is great. And we're recently certified B Corp.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Really, and it was a lot of work. And
big push from the team for so it's really amazing.
Absolutely. My brother, Patrick Gardiner, who's our pharmacist and QP and quality and research director, he has invested massively in standards like ISO 1401, like the foundations, and then B Corp brings it to another level. I think it's going to grow in terms of consumer understanding of what it means, but it is a very challenging standard. So it's all about people, profit, and planet, and that you have to look after your people. You have to create profit, because you can't look after your people if you don't create profit, and you can't actually buy the right ingredients, do all the right things unless you're making money. So it's a clever concept, and that's becoming more understood in the health and beauty industry, I believe.
That's so interesting, because if a company is, profitable, and then they're making decisions from a place of strength as opposed to a place of how can we cut costs and how can we cut this, kind of really important piece of our procedure. Like, let's say it's the purified water piece. Then, if you're not a sustainable business, then you can't keep those standards, but you guys do, and that's why you've gotten that kind of recognition, which is huge. And it's amazing as an Irish brand as well, that and that you're manufacturing here, like you have full oversight of the full production.
And it is great. And Dundalk is an incredible town, and we're very lucky, both Tom and I, to work with a great bunch of people. And even though they're not all my family, they do kind of feel like family. And we have brothers and sisters, fathers and sons, mothers and sons, husbands and wives, the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And a very long-standing, loyal workforce, which is great. And, Yeah, we're
Yeah.
and it's a fully integrated site. So literally,
Oh, wow.
Like everything is in the one building. Like, so it really is incredible. Like even ideas around products that we want to develop, like we could have a meeting around one product and then have a discussion about it, R&D team, see, and then packaging, design, and then have like, test our products all
Oh
in
my
one place. So
God.
it's incredible, especially for new people joining the team who might not have had that experience in a company before. I think we don't take it for granted, but it is definitely like a benefit and a skill.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So regardless of which department you're in, you kind of do get to see the whole
yeah.
process, and then
Yeah,
that
yeah.
factors in if it's packaging. So
Yeah.
you know how the product's made, and
Yeah.
like step by step.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and like all nights out would include everyone.
Yeah.
Not that we're out every weekend, but it's a fully it's a fully integrated site. So, for example, to get from the digital marketing department to the canteen, you have to walk through the warehouse.
Oh wow.
It's
cool.
like
Yeah.
being, it's that kind of place.
Yeah.
And you see everyone coming in on their bicycles or in their cars going, they start at 7:30 in the morning. We've lots of flexi start times. And we just introduced a universal shift for the manufacturing teams, which is 4 days, 7:30 to 5:30, and then a 3-day weekend.
Oh, lovely.
But they're working full time in 4
Yeah.
days, which is hard, and it's been hard to get used to, I think. But it's great. And then I met one of the guys in the warehouse, and he said to me, "I had the best day on Friday. I went down the town, as they say in Dundalk, and I had an ice cream with my son." And it wasn't, it just gives you that extra time on the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, we can't do that in every part of the business, but I was delighted to bring that in as a positive change. Although it is a longer day, and I know some people find it harder, but in general, time is the new money,
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
But they are working a full week in 4 days, just.
Yeah.
Not
No,
sure.
but
Yeah.
it is about like when you are running a company, you do have like you're looking after the well-being of people. Work takes up so much of our lives. Like, that you have to think about like how that feels for people. And then when people feel like they're being looked after and that they have a good work life and then a life outside of work as well, then, you bring that energy into the office or into the warehouse or into the factory, and you're thinking of new things, and you have space to also think and absorb new ideas. But Tom, I suppose from the marketing side of things, what shifts are you seeing in the marketing of skincare, or what how are you reaching people with your message in terms of basically all of what you've just told me about the company, like and how is that kind of being received, I suppose?
It's been received very well. I think
Yeah.
we've done some big campaigns since I've joined in the business. So the first one was Happy Skin. So you spoke about that
Yeah.
earlier on, which is all around like psychodermatology, and
Yes.
how the idea of that came about was, as I was saying, as we've kind of moved more direct consumer, we're able to connect with our customers more. We had so many like positive messages about like stories of your products, have made me, get closer to my family because my skin is better now. And
Yeah.
so we took customers in for a Happy Skin campaign. So we filmed them, they told their story, and then we had that on television and then on social media. And the next one is like telling the story of the family. So the Gardiner family apothecary. So we're over 90 years in business now. So it is a big legacy,
Mhm.
and we can really stand over the quality of our products, as we were saying, because it's all integrated.
Yeah.
But we're also now on TikTok, which is a big one for Ireland.
Yes.
We're flying there. So hopefully going to be going to TikTok Shop UK next. So,
Great. Yeah. And just as you were saying it, I was thinking about how, like, Joanna, when you were in the medical offices and you were meeting people and speaking to people, and maybe they'd used your products, and you were in pharmacies, and now, like, you see that you still get the physical feedback, I'm sure, through different channels, but then the online piece, people are probably sending you messages to say, or in photographs maybe, and like that's such a like rewarding piece, like especially with skincare, because it's so visible, like you can see a transformation. Yeah.
And it's good for like the wider department as well, because like maybe they might not have seen the benefit of the products they're making, because we have a big quality team, and the quality of the products is obviously so high.
Yeah.
And they may not have directly heard the benefits in the story. So it's great on that aspect internally. But yeah, it's really powerful. Like with great reception to the Happy Skin campaign as well. So it's really, really good.
Yeah, I love that. I love the concept that, well, like obviously it's a huge challenge, and I see people being prescribed things like Roaccutane and or isotretinoin, and how you can go through such a psychological journey when it comes to skin, and especially with acne in particular. But that on the flip side of that, when you can figure out what works for you and you do get the right treatment prescribed or also self-managed, then like you can really get a new lease of life and confidence.
Completely. Yeah.
And actually just thinking about like Roaccutane, say for example, that can really dry out the skin. Is there kind of a you mentioned, Tom, the cleanser SPF kind of routine. Is there kind of a routine that you'd recommend for people who are either going on steroid treatment or like Roaccutane, the likes, that is drying out the skin just for the maintenance side? Is it just keeping on top of really regular moisturizing?
For Roaccutane, particularly for acne, brilliant, transformational drug, needs to be treated carefully.
Yeah.
They tend to get very dry lips, very dry. So we are finding the SPF lip 20 very useful there. Also, we have an Elave intensive ointment. It's not a lip product per se, but could be put around the lips going to bed at night, and then use the lip SPF during the day. But in general, I think Tom probably speaks to this as well, the cleanser. But Roaccutane has a specific effect around the lips that we are aware of, and we do recommend that. But in general, I'll let you answer.
In general, I think like we would preach about a head to toe regime as well. So starting off, as I was saying earlier, about like shampoos and what men are just putting on their skin, but more generally, it's like whatever you put on your head goes down your body. So if it's scented shampoo, stop using that. Use same with the body wash, just more gentle Elave body wash, and then our intensive cream, which is just a full body moisturizer. So very basic 3-step routine that we'd recommend to a lot of our customers. So.
And it's keeping on top of it then as well, isn't it? Like, because I've family and things that have different skin conditions, like say psoriasis or whatever, and they only treat the when they see the flare up, they use what the doctor prescribes, and then once it goes away, they're delighted with themselves and kind of stop. And I'm like, no,
you need to keep it going.
Reduce the incidence of the flare up if you keep on top of that basically head to toe routine, exactly in your words. I think the maintenance piece can just really help prevent a lot of the kind of the stress of.
You're absolutely right. And like we have a medical device Elave ointment specifically for psoriasis. And it's an absolutely amazing product. You don't have to have psoriasis to use it, but it's superb for very dry areas. Another area that's massively important to us is, I suppose, immuno-oncology, dermatitis, immunotherapy has become much more prevalent in the process of treating cancer, and it's the end usually of the process, and it's to boost the immune system, and it's amazing. And I think it's going to become a very big phenomenon in terms of longevity, and the skin literally peels off. It has a dramatic negative effect on the skin. It's very, very dry. Now, obviously, if you're battling a very serious skin, you don't care about dry skin to some extent. But nonetheless, if you can provide something easy to use, our intensive cream is a medical device also, and it has an oncology dermatitis claim, but it's 30% lipids. It's got fractionated coconut oil in it. It's light liquid paraffin, which is an oil based, but like you can't really beat oil for very dry skin. Easy to use, and we are doing a lot of work with patients going through immunotherapy and different cancer treatments. Radiation has other specific effects on the skin. Cooling the skin can be a big thing. And we have a fabulous product that goes back to the 30s as well, which is 1% menthol and aqueous. And it's like really, really good. And for some reason, the feet and peripherals can get very warm after radiation and specific treatments. And that's a whole area. So you have the conditions, you have longevity is going to bring more and more cancer diagnosis, but also more and more successful outcomes. And then we also have longer living, but your skin naturally gets drier. And then you have anti-aging, which is the ultimate. Like, more and more people now are having dermabrasion, they're having laser resurfacing, they're doing a lot of very clever treatments that trick the skin barrier into thinking, oh, I'm wounded. I'm going to get the collagen going in the protein layer of the skin. And so the new skin comes up, and it's elastic, it's younger looking, it's rejuvenated, quite literally. And this is not about injectables now or any of those things. This is about disturbing the skin barrier, tricking the skin into thinking it's a natural wound, just like you grazed your knee as a child, and the new pink baby skin that would come up would be so much more younger than the rest of the skin. And so it's Retin A was used originally for acne scarring. So now it's used for non-acne scarring skin to improve the skin barrier as well. So there's some seriously good treatments, but the result of all of those things is you are disturbing the skin barrier. So you have to maybe stop using products with high perfume content, colors, dyes, and simplify the routine.
And support.
It's exciting, actually. I do love, and I think you know this, I love what I do. I love skincare. I love helping people with skin problems and irritations, right through from, parents of babies with eczema right through to, and I kind of, I literally, I'm growing up with it. So I'm seeing people now going for a lot of these resurfacing treatments, and there's all these trends, and maybe, I'd be very careful now who I would go to for a treatment like that, but they do work, and they're not making you look weird. They're just they're really tricking the skin into rejuvenating itself because they think it's wounded. So the outer layer is red, irritated, and basically lasered off.
So then you need to treat it like you would treat a wounded skin.
It is a wound.
Yeah, it is a wound.
You're right. So I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
And you don't have to look unusual, put it that way. You can look like you used to look.
And
I'm all for that. And I think that's a huge confidence booster for men and women, but I think particularly for women.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's an investment in yourself and something that you want to do.
And then exercise and all of those things. So longevity is going to mean more and more careful decision making around skincare.
Yes. Yeah. And not trialing things because they're trending and potentially damage our skin longer term as well is being quite
Although
careful.
It's hard not to. And I do understand. I do understand how you see this video about something. I go, yeah. And there are some really great ingredients, and I did say that earlier, that really work. Yes. And peptides are definitely a good thing. And there's some fantastic serums out there. Now, it's not our business, although I do believe beauty is for sensitive skin.
Yes.
But the, facial skincare, but be careful what you're using and minimize the chemicals.
Hey, just a quick one. If you're worried about remembering everything from today's episode, you don't have to. You can download a full guide for every episode summarizing all the key points over at wellnessscriptpod.com. And while we're having a chat, make sure to hit subscribe wherever you're listening so that you don't miss the next episode. Is it kind of trial and error in terms of what kind of skin type we have? Like, with oily combination, dry, or I know that it changes throughout our lives as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's kind of just, should we just respond to the skin that is presenting to us kind of, do you think? Or
I mean, this whole thing about combination skin, and I think your skin changes. I think hormones affect skin. I think your skin definitely is a little bit oilier in your teenage years. Pregnancy is a big area now for changes in skin, and a lot more attention on what's been used on the skin. I think food intake, not eating prawns, for example, that wasn't a thing when I had children, but people are much more careful about what they eat, and they're now becoming much more careful about what skincare they use. So, for example, you would not use retinols through a pregnancy. And sometimes people are a bit stunned by that, It wasn't something that was on my mind when I had children, but it is becoming more and more important to kind of look at the whole picture.
And through through your communication tools, whether it's online or different campaigns that you're doing, like you are like also educating, like you're obviously sharing information about your brand, but you're also educating people on skin health. Isn't that kind of one of
Yeah,
the
big
goals?
time. Yeah, definitely. And I think another, like maybe something that isn't as visual as maybe online, is that we have a customer care team who answer the phone still. And
Wow.
they're so knowledgeable. And we, like, email is such a big part of like the way I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it is, I see the emails going out. Some of them are so long and there might be questions and whatever issues they might have. It really is. It's special. It's something that, it's unusual for us to have for brands that you're going to ring up and call a brand and say, I have this issue, but it's a big talking point for us. Like, that we do actually have a manned phone that you can call. Like, there's a hotline,
Yeah.
So,
that is amazing. Like, actually, even to know as a pharmacist, because sometimes you get questions, you're like, I'm not sure
it's definitely
if that's recommended in that very specific scenario.
Yeah, we have a brand activation team as well who are on the road, who are super knowledgeable as well. So they're traveling around to all the pharmacies and they do training days and stuff like that. So yeah, we're out in the market helping people and training people as well, and pharmacists as well, because it's important. You guys know the benefits of the products as well.
Yeah, definitely, because there's always stuff changing and obviously the new products coming around and stuff. So like that's why when people go to their pharmacy, whether they're speaking to the pharmacist themselves or the person on the counter or pharmacy technician, that that they have so much information, because we do get that kind of education from different angles from brands.
The pharmacy retail assistants are incredible. Their knowledge is incredible. And there's always one champion, for it. And you really, something we really focused on is getting a champion for the product ranges in the pharmacies. And Tom speaks the brand activation. My big history would have been going into the pharmacies and talking them through the recommendation back so that they could recommend a product that really worked.
Yeah.
Because that's what their role is, to help people who come into the stores. We are now moving a little bit more into the beauty space in terms of we're in Dunn's Beauty. I don't know if you've been in that section.
Yes.
Very innovative retailer, as we know, and very Irish retailer. So it's really nice. We're two of the oldest companies in the country.
Yes. Wow.
Like our registered number is 8804. And a funny story is that TikTok Shop wouldn't accept us because the number wasn't long enough. And we said, but that was one of the first Irish companies. And
so thank you they had to change the system for us. So thank you.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because it was such an early registration number.
Yeah. We're also in a very beautiful chain called Arboretum. I don't know if you've ever been. They're a lifestyle garden centre, absolutely amazing retail experience. And we want to bring the brand more to a wider audience.
Yeah.
And certainly the face range isn't just for people with sensitive skin. It is better for people. It's better for anyone's skin to avoid those products. And then layer on whatever else you want to with it, but use our range as a baseline. Tom spoke about it, and we have to mention Susan and Amory in our customer care. They are just amazing and do great work with people. And people, back to the start of this conversation, people get very upset and their lives are very disturbed by skin conditions, and it is seriously underestimated.
Yeah.
So if we can do anything to help, and sometimes people do react to some of our products, and that's not, sometimes they might be not using the shampoo. That's one of our real hooks. And so they go out and maybe buy the Aleve Intensive Cream, and they're putting that on, and then they're using what they believe to be a gentle shampoo. It doesn't even have to be a cheap shampoo. It could be a cosmetic branded shampoo.
Yeah.
And they're not making the connection that they're undoing the good work by using a non-dermatological specialist shampoo.
Yeah.
So that could be part of the conversation from Susan and Amory in customer care. And they go, oh, yeah. And it's not that these people didn't want to buy the shampoo. They just didn't connect. So it's a whole education piece.
Yeah.
Again, a toddler in a bath, a typical age to have a big flare-up of atopic eczeama. And everything's been done properly. And I've never met a parent who's not like trying to do everything to improve the condition. And maybe not just thinking of the shampoo, because it isn't commonly recommended. It's improving now, but it wasn't at the start. It was, what are you talking about shampoo? But that's for your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it runs down into all the stuff we said. So
yeah.
I think it's really, that's a really big, important piece to make the connection, I suppose, to some extent, to educate on what products to use and how to use them together.
Yeah, it's the combination of our behaviors, our environment, what we eat, everything. And I think when you kind of start to get a bit curious and a bit investigative, and then you get a little bit of input from somebody who knows their stuff, then whether it's the pharmacist or yourselves, I think that then you can start to put the picture together as to what's maybe causing the flare up, what's solving it. You can start to remove stuff and then slowly add in things that actually help and figure out what the root of the problem is and how do we get this skin barrier back to being nice and comfortable. And even I loved your analogy of the mosquito bite, because we all know when we've had one, like it can nearly keep you up at night, like with the itch of it. But like when you think that could be large surface areas of your body with an inflammatory skin condition, like like it's affecting your sleep. If you're going through cancer treatment and you have really dry, cracked skin, and then that's affecting your sleep and you have to go into the hospital tomorrow. Like it's the whole picture of how it impacts your lifestyle and then how you present to the world as well, as you said, if it's in your face, you know, and affecting your confidence too. So I think, skin and say it again, dermal psychology.
Psychodermatology.
Psychodermatology. Psychodermatology. That's actually a new one for me. So I love that. And I think that's something that we could all kind of approach when we think of our skincare as well. Guys, if people want to learn more about Elave and all of what you're doing, where is the best places to find you?
So Instagram is @Elave Skincare, or TikTok is @Elave Skincare, and then our website is elaveskincare.com.
Fabulous. And thank you so much for joining me, Joanna and Tom. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks so much for listening to the Wellness Script podcast. Don't forget that you can download your free guide over at wellnessscriptpod.com to put today's episode into practice. If you enjoyed it, please follow, subscribe, and share this episode with someone that you know would love it too. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Elave and Otazan, for making this show possible. I'm Lauren O'Reilly, and I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.